This is the Barbados Today morning news for Thursday, April 13th. Thank you for joining us. I am Marie-Claire Williams. Environment Minister Dr Denis Lowe says government does not owe retrenched workers of the National Conservation Commission new employment. Speaking to reporters following an NCC meeting yesterday afternoon, Lowe made it clear that the NCC's duty of care to the dismissed workers ended when they received severance payment awarded by the Employment Rights Tribunal last July. The tribunal ruled that the workers were unfairly dismissed and ordered compensation equivalent to 52 weeks' wages. The NUPW said government also agreed that the retrenched workers would be given preference for any future vacancies at the NCC, but Lowe said that was not the case.
Unlike the claim that has been made, the NCC has no obligation to anybody who has not applied or who will not apply, and that retrenchment is not a condition for engagement with the NCC. What we will do is give full consideration to anyone who expresses an interest in working with the NCC. We've satisfied all of our obligations with the retrenched workers. Many of them have gone on with their lives. We've assisted wherever we could with letters of recommendation and so on. And we're going to continue to stay focused on what we need to do relative to continuing to advance the character and the work of the National Conservation Commission.
And President of the National Union of Public Workers, Akani McDowell, has described Lowe's comments as scandalous. The threat of industrial action looms over the state-run Kensington Oval Management Incorporated. It comes on the heels of a government-ordered probe into operations of the company. And the workers' bargaining agent, the Barbados Workers Union, is warning that there will be industrial action if the employees' concerns are not addressed quickly.
We are very concerned with the labor issues, and we will be definitely seeking resolution to those matters because the environment is one that's really not conducive to any proper working relationship at this time.
What are you going to do to seek resolution?
Leave that with us. Nothing is off the table.
In other news this morning, Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite is given assurances that the wave of gun violence sweeping the island is being addressed at the highest levels of the Royal Barbados Police Force. Brathwaite says there is an increase in the number of firearms seizures as police intensify their anti-crime strategy.
We are very concerned that the strategies are the strategies of the Royal Barbados Police Force. I can tell you that as a policy maker, that I'm doing what I can to give them additional support. But I'm sure that the Commissioner of Police or anyone like that, they're not going to come and tell you exactly what they're doing to try to curb the level of gun violence and stuff. But what I can say is that you will notice that there's an increase number of firearms being seized, for example. But it's kind of difficult to be out at 12 o'clock in the morning when guys are up to no good. So you can target certain individuals as they do, and as intelligence comes in, you can do raids, etc. I believe you can probably see more police presence on the road at night in terms of when we are aware of certain events taking place. There are multiple things that we have to do in terms of strategy, and that's an issue for the Royal Barbados Police Force.
Police bade farewell yesterday to their colleague, Station Sergeant Clifford Sherlock Bridgeman, who was killed in an accident last month. Scores of mourners, including Governor-General Sir Elliot Belgrave and Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite, turned out to pay their last respects. Senior Superintendent John Annell remembered Bridgeman as a committed officer who was admired by his colleagues.
Over the years, Clifford Sherlock Bridgeman touched our lives in so many different ways. As a treasurer, he was gifted to us by his parents Gertrude Bridgeman and Lionel Bridgeman. There is no doubt that their parental guidance and early teachings left an indelible mark on his life. As an organization, the Royal Barbados Police Force remains indebted to them and his entire family for the installation of qualities such as discipline, pride, humility, forgiveness, tolerance, and self-respect. The possession of these attributes not only made Clifford a more manageable officer, but enabled him to become a citizen of whom we all can be proud. He was worthy of emulation and admiration. He gave his life to the police work.
And speaking on behalf of Bridgeman's partner's family, Paul Gittins said they had lost a well-loved member.
Whatever the families do, we did it. And we will trade those memories for the world. We didn't lose him because of Rosalind and anxiety, but in spite of it, they only cemented the deal. Ironically, Cliff is the last family gathering of birthday beach life. But that invaded Sunday, and only because he was immersed in a murder investigation. A delightful afternoon ended in a devastating night. A great long home, no lights, where there once was light.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Good morning, Phillips & Company, may I help? Oh, certainly. One moment, please. Miss Phillips?
Yeah?
There's a lady on the line from the Nation newspaper who would like to speak with you.
The Nation? Will she go on?
Well, they're trying to sell us some ads.
Look, don't make me laugh this morning. Ads in the Nation? They're real expensive, and for what here, nobody ain't buying them papers no more. Nobody want to steal news. I hear reading Barbados Today online for free. So I tell she thanks for calling, but no thanks. We just advertising Barbados Today, families. Tell she is Barbados Today all the way.
Okay, I'll pass on the message. Ma'am, are you still there? Oh, she put it down.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
We're back now with news from the region, and some sections of the voting public in the Bahamas are taking Prime Minister Perry Christie to task over the election date. Christie announced the May 10 date earlier this week, but some have been complaining on social media that May 10 is also the anniversary of the sinking of the HMBS Flamingo in 1980, in which 4 Defense Force Marines were killed. We get more from ZNS Network News.
Some say it's a sacred day on the calendar that should not be touched, while others argue that there is a lack of reflection by the Bahamian community, particularly in these modern times. Prime Minister the Honorable Perry Christie says by no means was the intention to overshadow the significance of this day in Bahamian history.
I want to make sure that everybody fully understands that we have not diminished the meaning of the sacrifice of the young men, and that, in fact, if anything, we want to even do more to memorialize them.
The Prime Minister says there was a whole lot that went into determining the May 10th elections, particularly after the off and on dates for Carnival. ZNS News understands that the intention may have initially been to hold elections on Tuesday, May 9th, but after Carnival dates were finalized from the 4th through the 6th, an additional day was given to prepare for general elections. The nation's leader pledged to ensure that the memorial of the HMBS Flamingo is not left in the distance on Election Day.
And finally, on the international scene, U.S. President Donald Trump has made an about-turn on his position on NATO, saying it is no longer obsolete. Trump has repeatedly questioned NATO's purpose, while complaining that the U.S. pays an unfair share of membership. But following talks with NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg at the White House, Trump said the threat of terrorism had underlined the alliance's importance.
The Secretary General and I had a productive discussion about what more NATO can do in the fight against terrorism. I complained about that a long time ago, and they made a change. And now they do fight terrorism. I said it was obsolete. It's no longer obsolete.
That's news this morning. Remember, you can get more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also tune into Channel 99 on Flow TV or Mix 96.9 FM for more news. I am Marie Claire Williams. Have a good morning.